everyone, it's Alice from Nerdy Chic Bookworm, and thanks for tuning in again to another one of my videos. I have decided today to do sort of a currently reading video. I know it's the end of the month, but you know, time has been a little bit strange at the moment. I don't know about any of you guys, but the UK is currently on lockdown and we are not really allowed to leave our house at the moment unless it is for essential things. So I'm kind of doing a lot of reading, but I'm also homeschooling my children, and my husband is off from work at the moment as well. So I'm reading, but time isn't really sort of playing a part for me. Sort of all my days are just kind of merging together at the moment. So yeah, I thought I would just do sort of a currently reading book. I've got 4 books that I am currently reading. 2 of them are sort of just ones that I'm like dipping in and out of, and 2 of them are ones that like I'm actually reading. So the first one that I am sort of furthest through is Dead Gone by Luca Vesti, and this is the first in a trilogy, or a series it could be actually, and it is set in Liverpool, and there is 2 detectives, D.I. David Murphy and D.S. Laura Rossi, who are given the task of chasing down a killer who is doing scientific experiments on them in order to prove that his theory on something is right. This is a brilliant book. I started reading it through about a week ago, and I've been gripped. I've taken a few days off reading it because I've been kind of settling my kids into homeschool and stuff like that. And to be honest, because of everything that's going on in the world, I just haven't felt like wanting to read it in a couple of days. So it has kind of been left for a few days, but I think I'm about halfway through it. And it's basically a crime thriller about these 2 detectives who have been, like I said, given the task to find this killer who's doing scientific experiments, and they all seem to have this connection to the City of Liverpool University. And there's the CIA is involved, and drugs and sort of conspiracy theories, and it's really good. It's taken me to somewhere where I didn't think it was going to take me, and I really like that. There's not so much a twist in it, but it's like I wasn't expecting the sort of the subject matter to be what it actually is. I mean, it didn't say much. It mentioned deadly psychological experiments on the back, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. But sort of the way it's gone into these psychological tests, I was a bit sort of like, whoa, okay, right, just wasn't expecting that. But it is really good. It's gripping. When I'm reading it, I am really, really gripped. So I feel like I'll probably get back to this tonight. I feel like I need a bit of blood and guts and murder. So yeah, but really, really good so far. I think it's definitely his first, a chilling debut. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this one. I would definitely recommend it. When I've finished it, I will definitely do a proper review on it, because so far it is a really good book, and I would like to talk a bit more about it. The second one that I've got is one that I've literally just started, as in I read the introduction last night before I fell asleep, so I have literally just started this book. But this is A History of English Food by Clarissa Dickson Wright. Clarissa Dickson Wright is one of the 2 fat ladies who were a duo of chefs in the 90s, I believe. And she went on to write this, and it's basically going from the medieval period right through all the different eras to modern day, talking about food and the history of food and the history of cooking food and the history of sort of the meats we used to eat and the meats we eat now. And it even looks at sort of medicinal uses of food, so things like honey and cider vinegar and things like that. It looks at things like that. And I mean, the introduction was really good. It was really interesting. And there's pictures. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Like I said, I did only read the introduction and then I fell asleep last night. I was very tired. And it was one of those moments where I was reading and then it just kind of went and just fell onto my face. But yeah, the introduction, like I said, was really good, so I am looking forward to getting into this properly. The next one, well, the next two actually, are books that I'm just kind of dipping in and out of, sort of as and when. The first one is Cumbrian Folktales. This is a book that I got from a local bookshop in my hometown, and it's, like it says on the cover, it is folk tales from Cumbria and around Cumbria. It's basically just legends and myths and fairy tales that have been told round plenty of campfires through history in Cumbria, about all different places in Cumbria and how these sort of places came to be. It's got things like Long Meg, which is a stone circle. It's got Ullswater. It's got the Grey Lady of Levens Hall. The Screaming Skulls of Calgarth. So it's basically just lots of different folk tales sort of collected as fragments by the author, and sort of it talks about sort of local customs of Cumbria and things like that. And it's just a nice book. They're not very long, the stories, and it's just really, really nice book. And it's interesting because obviously I am from Cumbria, so it is interesting to sort of hear the history of Cumbria through folk tales, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's just a nice, pretty book. I mean, swans and this is by Taffy Thomas. I believe he is a local to Cumbria author. So yeah, it's really good. Again, like I said, it's one that I'm sort of dipping in and out of when I just kind of want, you know, just one story here and there, just if I've got 10 minutes free or whatever, I'm kind of dipping into this. But yeah, so far so good. And the last one that I am currently reading / dipping into is Just So Stories by Rudyard Kipling. This is the smallest, cutest book ever. This is part of the Macmillan Collector's Library edition, and there's quite a few of these that I want. I've got another one at the moment, but there is a few that I've got on my Amazon wish list. But yeah, Just So Stories is one of my favourite books ever. I used to have it as a child and I loved it. But then when I moved into this house 11 years ago and I was kind of moving, some of my childhood books got misplaced and I haven't been able to find them. But this is a collection of short stories written by Rudyard Kipling, who also wrote The Jungle Book. And it's How the Camel Got His Hump, The Beginning of the Armadillos, The Elephant's Child, which is basically how the elephant got his trunk, how the alphabet was made, and it's just tiny little stories, sort of fairy tale-esque, there's magical realism in there, and they're just really nice sort of, just nice little fairy tale cozy reading books. And like I said, there's, I mean, it's a tiny little book, there's only about 165 pages or something like that in it, and it's just a pretty book as well. I mean, there's the end papers, and then it's gold edge pages, and there's beautiful illustrations. This is how the alphabet was made, so I don't know if you can see, but it's got pictures of how the letter A was formed and how the letter W was formed and things. And it's just a really cute little book, and I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I read all of these books when I was little, and I loved them so much. So when I saw that this collection was doing it, I asked for it, and I luckily got it, and I thought this would be a really nice time to start reading through it again. Just, you know, with the times that it is at the moment, and you know, it's scary and uncertain, and just a little bit terror inducing. Sort of little stories like this that take you back to your childhood are just, you know, it's just a nice thing to read. So they are my books that I am currently reading. I am hoping to be back again next week with some more content, and I am looking forward to seeing you then. And just have a good week, and thanks for tuning in. Bye guys.